According to ancient writers, in order for a person to be a good student, they have to have the capability to recall large content of information. And Aristotle was known to say that if a person could recall large information, that was a moral person. And even Cicero would say that to be able to recall large information, it's a divine attribute. But for most of us, when it comes to recalling large content of information, it's terrifying. It's scary. I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. And I know you are too. But there are some tricks that we can do that will help us to figure out how to chunk information or divide it or create scenes so that that information is easier for us to recall. So one of the first things that I will ask my students to do is that after they have listened to the story, to visualize it in different scenes. For some, it might be thinking as a movie scene, and others maybe a comic strip. But my son, when he was taking my class in preparation for a tour in Israel and telling Bible stories, he said, "Mom, this is the method of Loki that we're studying in psychology." He was a student in high school. He said, you put information in small little chunks so that it's easier for you to recall. And I said, "Yes, Grant, that's exactly what it is." And so from that point forward, I started referring to divisions of the stories or creating a scene to chunking. When I chunk my scenes, it helps me better put information into one image or one paragraph, one word or one phrase. And then that helps me to recall. Probably the easiest method that you do this with is your phone number. So if I give you the numbers 712-557-6691, you're not as likely to recall it if I just give the 9 digits. But if I give the numbers in 334, you're more apt to recall. And that is one method of tricking our mind. It thinks it's only recalling 3 numbers versus 9. And it's the same when we do scenes. So as you read your story or listen to your story, I want you to visualize it in scenes. Can you do it in 2, 3, 5? And in those scenes, what do you see happening in that scene? Picture it and then practice retelling it. And as you do that, it'll be easier for you to recall and tell your Bible story. It is very helpful to do this. And it's crazy. Then all of a sudden you're going to be able to recall longer stories. And I've been able to train leaders in telling entire books, like the book of Ruth, or the story of Esther, the book of Esther, or the story of Joseph, which is the longest story in the Bible, by helping them chunk it in scenes. And then they think they're recalling smaller information, but it's actually more content they're recalling. And in that, you end up starting to trust the story as the story flows. And you remember the scene, and then the story will naturally reveal itself. And that's when internalization gets into the depths of you. It is so much fun to learn how to tell Bible stories, and I'm so glad you're walking this journey with me. Shalom, y'all.